Sapoops, are you annoying? Because if you are, I have news for you. It is now legal to be annoying in Malaysia. Yes, for those of you who didn't know, it was actually illegal to be annoying in Malaysia and there was a literal law for it. Introducing Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998, otherwise known as the Akta Sakit Hati, which used to go, a person who, by means of any network facilities or network service or application service, knowingly makes, creates, or solicits and initiates the transmission of any comment, request, suggestion, or other communication which is obscene, indecent, false, menacing, or offensive in character with intent to annoy, abuse, threaten, or harass another person, or initiates a communication, blah blah blah, again with intent to annoy, abuse, threaten, or harass any person at any number or electronic address, commits an offense. Yes, it was actually illegal to be offensive or annoying in Malaysia. If you want some examples, there's of course like Fahmi Reza, the man who started calling this Akta Sakit Hati because he made a wonderful caricature of Bosku. And there's a whole lot of different uses of that act, not really to protect people, but to silence political dissent, especially during the COVID era, when there were literally 692 users between 2020 and 2022. Because a lot of people, and especially our government, were very sakit hati. But suddenly, enter Heidi Quah. Heidi's the founder of Refuge for the Refugees. She's a very famous refugee activist, and she does a whole lot of programs for different refugee communities through like baking classes, workshops, refugee empowerment. It's pretty cool, but the government didn't think so. Basically, it was COVID era and the Malaysian government was putting refugees in these detention centers because it wanted to stop them from spreading COVID, and suddenly ended up with the surprise Pikachu face when they started getting COVID. And people started writing articles one after another. Long story short, Heidi Quah visited one of these detention centers, and the detention centers were basically like these chicken cages, cramped, horrible, nearly unlivable. Made a Facebook post, and before you know it, she gets charged. Then she kena Akta Sakit Hati, DNA 8, makes a constitutional challenge, sued the government, and now offend and annoy are no longer part of Section 233 because apparently it doesn't match up with Article 10.2 of the Federal Constitution. Which means
this was on somebody else's podcast, namanya Victor Tan. Dengar minggu lepas dia datang di sini kan. So thank you Victor Tan for this beautiful image that we have taken.
That's not beautiful at all.
One side beautiful lah.
Dia memberi gambaran yang penuh kedua-dua malaikat dan setan ni.
Dia panggil aku setan.
Setengah setan.
Setengah. Separuh.
Whoa. YB Sapoop, you cannot charge me anymore. It's kind of worthwhile to understand why this judgment happened in the first place. And apparently it's because the court decided on a couple of things. For one thing, what is offensive or annoying can mean a million different things to a million different people. So technically, in the status quo ante, that is, if even a single person gets pissed off at what you're saying, then technically they can make a police report, a complaint, which if you think about it is probably what happened when Heidi posted that post. There were no swear words, nothing. Probably just people who were not happy with the fact that she was protecting refugees in Malaysia, which is a controversial issue by the way. But apparently what stood above all was the ability to speak truth to power without fear or favor, and to participate in democracy fully and freely in that democratic discussion. Which, if you think about it, sounds a lot like this judgment means that the truth has won over error, and oppression has been vanquished into the far reaches and beyond Tartarus. But if you think about it, there's just one small problem with that, and that is cyberbullying. Yes, harassment is still covered under the CMA, but it's much easier to prove that somebody offended you or annoyed you in court. So if someone's going to casually go out and send you a couple of abusive comments and then later play victim and then say, oh, I didn't want to harass you, I was just using my freedom of speech, then in that case, then what does that mean? If you're a cyberbullying victim, then you might just end up suffering here and there and everywhere, especially if you get a lot of comments from people who just don't care and cannot be punished at any point, while the toxicity of our society #escalates. So yes, I'm pretty sure that if you're one of those people who actually wants to go out and harass people, then you should, in every universe, be still caught under the law and dragged out of house and home. But hooray for freedom of speech! Or so people celebrate. Before Madani decides it's going to appeal. If you are just a naturally annoying person, just like yours truly right here, rejoice and rest assured. Because the poops, it is now legal to be annoying in Malaysia. For this brief period in time, it is not illegal to be annoying in Malaysia, so be as annoying as you want over the internet. Say as many as you please. Guffaw, chortle, run wild, and the Popo MCMC complex will not catch you. But just know that the government is trying to make it illegal again. So what do you think, Sapoops? Is this a good thing or is it a bad thing? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. That's all to say about that, and bye.